All right, so we hear you got one more fun little story for us about your experience in costuming.
Yes. It was probably one of my favorite days, which is weird because it wasn't even a full day, but like I think I learned the most about like the cast member camaraderie than anything else that day. So it was an early morning. Inventory has this thing that I'm supposed to do where I just take stock of everything, and that's sounds standard.
Yeah.
So I'm briefing with my general lead, and we're talking about like what needs to get done today. And for some reason, nothing of what she's saying to me is processing. And soon I start to see three of her. I was severely dehydrated.
Oh my.
Like I had a pain in my back, so I took a pill for that to kind of like help the pain with that. And apparently I wasn't hydrated enough on a 98-degree day during fire season for that. So my general lead she saw me looking at her, and I finally was like, hey, I think I need to sit down. And she was like, you think? She was terrified. So she immediately throws me into a chair. She gives me a fan. She gives me something to eat. And I kind of sit there for a bit. The nurse comes in because we have a nurse backstage, which is great. The nurse comes in and she takes my blood pressure. I didn't pass out, thank God, but I was close. They described it as my lips were turning blue.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
That's how they described it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they said. So I was sitting there with the nurse, and she's like debriefing me and giving me water, making sure I'm okay. And then I'm taken to the break room to kind of relax a little bit. The manager of inventory was like very careful with me. She walked me and she's like, okay, do you feel like you're gonna fall over? And I'm like, no, I think I'm good. And then she sat me in the break room. She sat with me for about 5 minutes just to make sure I took little sips of water every couple of minutes.
That's good.
And she let me put my head down on the table for a bit. And after about maybe 30 minutes of like monitoring my progress, she said, okay, you have a choice. I can give you an ER, which is early release. I can give you an ER, or you can stick it out. You're going to be moving a lot, so that's something to take into account. But you could be distracted enough where you feel like you're okay. And I was like, let me try like getting up, and it was not a vibe. So I told her like, I think an ER would be good. I can come back tomorrow, or like I can come as early as you want tomorrow and finish that up. And she was like, no, you'll be fine. As long as you're safe, that's what matters. And safety when you're a cast member is like the most important thing. If you are not safe, they will not let you do anything. So I basically like got up. They walked me to the parking lot where my roommate picked me up. And this is also really bad too, is that I was like, I had pretty much like cried all of my makeup off that day. Because I was like so embarrassed for myself. But like I got lots of texts from my cast, from my coworkers in the area. They were like, just be safe, be okay. Like, we'll call you later. Like, do you want us to come to your house? I'm like, no, I'm fine. But I'm like walking to my roommate's car, and down walks my crush in the DCP. And he was like, hey, how are you? What's going on? Are you okay? Like, how have you been doing? And I'm like,
oh boy.
Oh no.
Best timing.
I'm like, oh my, and in my head, I'm like about to die. I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Yeah, thanks for checking up. Like, it's going great. I just finished a shift.
Talk about faking it till you make it, right?
I was dead inside. I'm so glad it didn't work out because I was embarrassed to no end. I was like, I'm gonna die. So my roommate picks me up, takes me home, and that was pretty much that. And the next day I went to work, I felt fine. And everyone in my area that day was full of concern. Like every single blueberry that I walked into that day was like, I heard you like passed out. Are you okay? Do you want more water? So like I really do appreciate the camaraderie that comes behind being a cast member, especially in my, I can only speak for my area. But the people that I met I'm Facebook friends with everybody still. I haven't been there in 2 years, but like sometimes they'll check up on me, like we'll like talk to each other. My lead from inventory still texts me every now and then, send me a funny video that reminds her of the time that we sit up till 1 a.m. And so like the community that you, and even the managers too, they
Mhm.
sometimes they will like sit you down and be real with you and comfort you and really take care of you. So I felt very supported
That's
in my
amazing.
role.
That's all that.
That's
That's all that.
awesome.
That's all you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
Exactly. I felt very, and I think that's part of the reason why I loved my job and why I was very good at it, was because I felt like I had a lot of support.
That's good.
And everyone's
That's
very
awesome.
good. It's like, there was one day, I don't know if Sky, if you heard about this 2 years ago. Do you remember when they oversold Oogie Boogie Bash?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll know this story. So
I was at the park.
you were there that day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what I was working that day, that night, that evening I was working. And so Madeline, and those who don't know the story, basically 2 years ago, Oogie Boogie Bash in DCA, very first year in DCA, oversold their tickets.
Yikes.
So they decided to fill, the parade route wouldn't be too overcrowded. They would
Uh-huh.
have 2 parades, 2 showings of FFP, Frightfully Fun Parade,
Uh-huh.
which of course now includes me and my coworkers.
Right.
So, and here's the thing, it was set up to only run once.
Right. Oh gosh.
So it starts at Pixar Pier and it ends by Guardians.
Uh-huh.
That's where it ends, right? That's what they were trained to do. Not go the other way, not go back. Parades, if they do 2 showings, they're trained to do one route this way and then the other route the other way. But they were not trained to do it the other way for Oogie Boogie.
Oh my.
So guess what they had to do? Haul everything all the way back to Pixar Pier, which is
No.
a trip. The pathway behind Cars Land is not big. That was like, from what I heard, that was a whole disaster.
That's
getting
crazy.
that thing over there. They had to haul everything back from Guardians all the way to Pixar Pier to
Oh
do the second
no.
route again. So I was in the inventory that night, and my trainer happened to be working on the parade that night. And so I'm walking and I'm just like coming back from my break and everything's hunky-dory because I'm not the one dealing with that. But I see my trainer and I look at her and I'm like, hey, how did it go? And she just goes, that's it. And she's like, I'm ready to go home and pass out. That's the kind of stuff that we deal with all the time. Is like when things like that happen, we're the ones that have to like get it together, and it's strange the kind of things that we have to do.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. That was,
like,
I mean, that sounds
yeah.
quite interesting.
It was an interesting day. That was the only real like park collective disaster that I experienced. Besides being there when Marvel lost, or when Disney lost Spider-Man to Sony.
Oh, that was
yeah.
a great time.
I was there when that happened.
Oh, Jesus, no.
The collective fear was a lot. Oh, that's all I'll say about that. The fear was real. And
All
then
right.
when it subsided, we were like, okay,
We're good. We're back.
we're good.
Everything's fine.
We're back. Everything's fine. Everything's good. We're like, okay, good.
So before we close out this episode, I really want to dive into your TikTok and cosplaying, because I know that's a big part of who you are.
Mhm.
And I really want to just like see your side of it and your take on everything, and like
Yeah.
what it's done for you, and how it's like, made you yourself as a person.
Yeah, it was a huge part of my quarantine experience. And I also, it's interesting how I'm very, very lucky that I am living with my parents through this whole disaster.
Right.
Because I don't think, as a mere person who's interested in costumes and stuff, I don't think I could have made it on my own. So I'm very fortunate that I'm here with my support system through this whole thing. So I was deep in quarantine, and kind of like, I felt like there was nothing I could do. And something that I love is to create stuff. Like I was 10 years old making like funky like transition videos on my iMovie. So when I saw like TikTok and I refused to join it for a while because I wanted to be like the one person that didn't do it.
Right.
Right.
I wanted to be edgy. And then in May, it took me 2 months. In May, I was like, fine, okay, I'll download it. Because everyone kept sending me memes and stuff. And I thought they were funny. So I downloaded it and I just started doing like little makeup videos and like I went viral once for talking about meeting Lin-Manuel Miranda. And other than that, I was like, just kind of vibing. And
Right.
I ended up like finding out that there was a whole community of nerds like me who love costumes like me, who were just like living their best life and making friends and building communities and inspiring each other and inspiring other people. And that hit me really hard. There wasn't a side of TikTok that really hit me like that. And it struck me and it motivated me to kind of like get up and do something with my time. And so I felt like that was the first time that on November 11th, that was the day that I got my Elastigirl suit and I went for it. And I thought like, this can't be that hard. And it turns out it wasn't, because the second video I ever posted of Elastigirl is now sitting at 600,000 views.
Mhm.
And it's still getting duetted.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
I feel like people don't care about other things that they just want to know when Elastigirl's coming back, November 11th, 2021. That is going to happen. So yeah, it's become this whole part of me, because I feel like I've grown so much as a person through my experiences with cosplay, especially on TikTok. Like I have found ways to channel my hobbies. So I feel like I'm a lot more of an organized person now because my thoughts aren't everywhere. I feel valued as a creative, because people are telling me that like my videos are like making people laugh or making people cry or making people like gasp or whatever. So I feel like I'm finding value in myself because I'm able to make people feel these things, that's all I ever wanted to do when I was in college, was to like evoke reactions that inspire good out of people.
That's amazing. That's all you should. Yeah.
Especially in the Latino community. That's really important to me, is that I want like young, old, I want the Latinx community to look at me and see me doing whatever because I want to, because I like it, and letting them feel like, oh, I can do what I want without the boundary of my skin color and my culture getting in the way of that. Like, just do it, just go for it. Because like people are going to tell you all the time, Black Widow isn't brown, or Wonder Woman isn't like, when I told everybody that Linda Carter was Mexican, I got so much hate for that. I got a lot of hate, but I'm proud that I did it. And I'm proud that I stand by that. And I'm proud that I like have supported, like that I gave people a reason to kind of feel seen.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you for that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it is super important, because again, like when you have like, especially for like little children, like, and even like teenagers and, adults, like when they have
teenagers
someone
especially,
when they have someone to like look up to and say like, oh, like this person looks like me and they're doing, this really cool, thing. And like, oh, they look like me. They're, they're Latina and they can be Black Widow and they can be, Cinderella, or they can be this, that, or the other thing. Like it's inspiring. And like, that's just really important, to have, especially nowadays.
It is,
to not encourage more division.
Yeah. So. I live for it and I love it. And TikTok is doing Latinx creatives hashtag for their trending hashtag, which I found out this morning and I cried. Like, I'm so excited. I applied for the program so they can probably give me some resources to work with. I hope that works out. But I'm thrilled to like bear the moniker of Queen Latina, and to have people look at my username and think like, yeah, she can probably like be a piece of representation for us nerds. So I'm really thankful for that. And I try not to be there just to look good.
Right.
Like I want to be there to make people laugh, especially laugh. I found out on my meetup in Myrtle Beach in June of this year. I learned that I am a lot funnier than I give myself credit for. Because the videos that I made, like my friends were like giving us all of these like transitions of like us just looking good, and like videos of like like Obi-Wan and Satine coming together and like having these emotional moments. And
Mhm.
I'm out here like making like Can You Pay My Bills videos for Satine and Padme over Annie and Obi, and making jokes about being the only Nat that's there to make dead jokes, or or like literally posing as like dead Nat on Vormir for Instagram stars. I'm like, who am I? Like, I think I have like the most chaotic. There was one video that we made with my friend Eric, who was not only the only man on our trip, which he acknowledged many times, but he did not bring a DC villains cosplay. He could if he wanted to, but he didn't. So he ended up, I was like, I have an idea. He ended up dressing up as a civilian and tied himself up and made himself our hostage in a bunch of videos. Like, they're hilarious.
I love that.
I have one version of a video that's a transition, and another one that's literally like him trying to escape, and then me as Poison Ivy, Senator Smoke as Harley, and Ari Creative as Black Cat, literally dragging him as Catwoman, literally dragging him across the floor back. Like, it was hilarious. Like, the chaotic vibes of that trip because of the videos that I made were so bad.
But honestly, I feel like it's not like a cosplay con, or it's not like a cosplay meetup if there is not some level of chaos.
Yes,
just from what I hear, you know, like I've never been to a con. Like, I'm like still very new, like into the world and things like that. But like, again, I have a friend who's like really big into, you know, that world. Like, she like makes wigs and does presentations on wig maintenance at cons and things like that. And just the level of chaotic stories like I hear from her, like,
exactly,
is insane.
And I had a thought, and like, no, chaos is a big part of it, because we're all just very like creative, unique, and expressive people. My friends and I, at least. I met them on a duet chain for Star Wars Women, and it kind of like catapulted from there. And I've made this community of friends that are just so chaotic and hilarious and inventive and just like very open people. And it's been so much fun. Like, there was one night where like Senator Smoke is literally standing in the middle of our living room in our hotel, and Ari Creative is painting like the side of her butt orange for their Teen Titans videos. And it was so funny. I put it on my vlog, like watching her just like intricately just go and get the paint there. And me and a whole adult are sitting on the couch just like completely amused by the sight of that. We're just like, okay, this is good. That. Yeah, it was great. Love that. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It has, ironically enough, it has emotionally matured me in a way that I didn't expect. And I think it's because like TikTok can be, and that people are aware of this, but there are a lot of sides of TikTok that are very toxic.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've learned how to stand up for myself. I feel like I've learned how to respect myself. And I've learned like the things that I deserve and how I deserve to be talked to and treated by, and like the kind of friends that I deserve, the kind of people that I deserve in my life. It has been because of those like toxic moments. And I'm sure like if you're ever on TikTok, you're aware of those toxic moments. It's taught me so much about like how I should treat people and how I should be treated. And to never settle for anything less than like absolute total respect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what sort of upcoming adventures do you have that you're willing to reveal as far as cosplay, cons, anything of the sort?
I will give you all of my spreadsheet right now, because my big announcement is that Halloween is coming, and I am working so hard on getting all of these things out. I have planned this lineup of Halloween characters since literally last March. Like,
that's amazing.
Like this last March. I have been planning it because I knew Halloween would be a huge deal. So what I am working on right now, which I announced on my Instagram, I'm doing Draco Malfoy specifically from A Very Part of Musical with Lauren Lopez, because Latin love, gotta get on that. I gotta show my girl. So I'm gonna do that. I'm so excited. There's gonna be lots of rolling on the floor, lots of chaos and all that stuff. If you have not seen A Very Part of Musical, at least watch the opening number, because it is chaotic and fabulous. So there's that. Second, I'm doing Morticia Addams.
Love that.
From the Addams Family. I did that Halloween costume my freshman year of high school, and it was terrible. It was not good. And I saw a picture of it and I was like, I can do better than that. So I'm going to redo it. RA Creative is doing Wednesday with me for that. So that's going to be really fun. The big one that I'm the most excited for is Jack Skellington.
I'm so ready for this.
I'm so excited. I did a Disney bound of him for Halloween last year, and I enjoy him so much. Like, Ari will attest that, like, she and I are on Zoom watching Nightmare together, and I recreate the entirety of Jack's Lament for her in my bedroom. And she's staring at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, when I'm in full cosplay, this will look so much better, I promise. So I'm very excited for that. And then lastly, for Halloween, my final Halloween character is going to be Oogie Boogie.
Ooh.
And I'm crafting that one myself. I have the pieces together. And I thought I was going to have to do more work than initially planned. That's not true. So it's going to be not only like easy to put together, but it's going to be spectacular. Like,
Very excited.
I feel like crafting it too is going to make it like just feel so much more worth it at the end of the day, because it's not just like, oh, this is nice, it came in the mail. Like, thank you, postal worker. I feel like it's going to feel so much more rewarding that it's like, man, this is something that I created like for myself.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Lava Girl. Lava Girl is one of my more popular ones. Unfortunately, I am retiring her for the time being. I just don't really have the capacity to keep her up right now, especially because like there are parts of her costume that are falling apart, especially her boots. Her boots are falling apart.
Oh no.
And I just don't really have the muse for it. And that happens. Like every now and then your muse for it just drops, and that's fine. She still sits on my rack and she looks great, but she will forever be the first costume that I made. And I'm so proud of that. So I keep her as like a trophy, but for reasons that I don't really get into, I am retiring her. But yeah, and I'm excited that Oogie is going to be my next big thing. I'm excited that that's going to be one that I'm going to make myself and put together myself, especially with like the funky makeup that I have planned.
Yes,
that's going to be so fun. And then
I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah, and then the last one is I'm good for my 1 year cosplay anniversary. I'm going to bring back Elastigirl.
Nice.
But with the Mrs. Incredible suit instead, because I cannot stand the one that I have now. I can't. I hate it. I don't hate a lot of things. I hate that suit.
Choices were made at the time.
Choices were made. Yeah, it was a matter of like, I want to join this community as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And that's why that suit is the way that it is. But I'm going to take my time, find one that's right, and I will recreate all the stupid videos that these kids love so much. I will do them again. There's one audio that I used from Family Guy that drives me. It's the one where he says "ma" like 1,500 times.
Oh yeah.
And then "hi" and then laughs, and it drives me crazy. I thought, oh, I'm gonna film it once and post it. It'll be fine. It went viral.
Yeah.
And so I heard, and people were duetting it all the time. So I heard that audio thousands of times, and it drove me crazy. It drove me nuts. But I'm doing Elastigirl again. Ari's also joining me as Violet. Dylan is gonna do Syndrome. Jar Jar Shopverse is doing Syndrome. I believe Try to Lip Sync Cosplay is doing Dash, because he's really good at the speedster characters. So he's gonna do Dash. And then Senator Smoke is joining us as Mirage. So very exciting stuff.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love my lineup that's happening. That's going to be happening soon. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm kind of craving Aurora a little bit.
Ooh,
that'd be really cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Well, when it's time, if you want a legit, like, good looking,
oh, please tell me, because I'm very
Parks
curious.
authentic, I will find out from my friend where she got hers from.
Please.
Because it is not gonna lie. So at one point in time, she was gonna move in with me, and then she didn't. And I had a bunch of her cosplay dresses upstairs, and she was like, yeah, if you ever want to like try them on. And I was like,
I would pass out.
So I may or may not have tried, didn't fully fit, but I may or may not have put Aurora on a couple of times. And let me tell you, that thing was magical. So I will try and find out where she got hers from.
I don't have the room nor emotional capacity to handle a big like Disney princess dress in here.
It wasn't that big.
I feel like it wouldn't fit and I would cry.
It was not that big. She had to put, I think she would put like 2 or 3 layers of like crinoline underneath of it. So it was just like a standard, like A-line
A little
skirt.
poof. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
poof. Yeah.
But let me tell you, nothing felt more spectacular. And this is coming from me with my Rapunzel that made me cry when I put it on.
Yeah.
But nothing made me feel more spectacular than that. I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And I feel like
There is-
Aurora and I'm going to cry. It's fine.
There is literally nothing more pure than seeing a cosplayer look at their new costume for the first time.
Mhm.
Like, I love watching cosplayers unbox their new stuff because they get so happy. And they're looking at
Yeah.
like a chance to become their favorite character, and it just like bubbles inside them. And I love watching that so much. It's like one of the most rewarding
yeah.
things.
Oh, even like, so last Halloween, we were in Magic Kingdom on Halloween when they were still letting you dress up.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we ended up not, for other reasons, we ended up not wearing our full on princess dresses, but we ended up doing
Mhm.
our bound dresses with our wigs.
Yeah.
And I had my Cinderella wig, and I got dressed, and then she like helped me put my wig on, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I burst into tears like immediately because I love Cinderella. Like, she's my favorite princess of all time. Like, Rapunzel's a close second, but like she's my favorite princess of all time. And then we got back at the end of the day and I burst into tears again. And I was just like, thank you so much for like making this happen for me. And that's when she was like, you can keep the wig. And like, we're both in tears, like in the room, like we're in princess wigs and pajamas and we're in tears. Like, it's fine. But
No,
it's such a cool thing.
Well, somebody got me my Jasmine for my birthday. And I had to kind of like breathe when I put that on for the first time, because Jasmine is like it for me. Jasmine is my princess. And so when I put on that costume, I kind of like looked at myself and I had to like breathe it in for a second, because like I had red hair at the time. So I was like, I don't think I look like her. When I put the wig on, oh my gosh, I had to like take a second, because like watching myself become her and then have people say I look like her, rip me, I died. I was like, you're kidding me. I like mind blown. I have I've been refusing for years that I look like her.
Yeah.
I've been like, no, I don't look like her. And then seeing myself in the costume and like having that happen, I was like, okay, I think I see it now. And just like, whoo, she makes me emotional.
Oh, I mean, oh yeah. Even in like our bound dresses, we had people following us around like in the parks asking like to take pictures. And we're like, no, you know what? We can't. But like, thank you for thinking that we were real.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because that meant a lot to us.
I think something really cute that's happened is I was filming an aerial one day and I was on Zoom with my friends, and one of my friends brought in her niece, and I was, clearly on screen in full aerial. So little girl goes like, oh my gosh, you're friends with Ariel. And I was like, what's happening? And I turned around and I just snapped into it. I was like, hello, how are you? And like the kid was so happy.
Oh, I love that.
That's also one of the fun parts of cosplays. Like when kids believe you, you're like, oh my God.
Yes. So good.
It was cute. It was really cute.
Do you want to do 0 to hero, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Armida, you can go first. What was your 0 and your hero for this week?
My 0 and my hero. I think my 0, I want to start with, I don't know. I haven't had that many low points this week, actually. I feel like you know what? My favorite baseball team broke their winning streak this week. That's like, and having that be the worst thing that happened to me is fine.
That's a pretty good week, actually.
Yeah, for real.
Like, my favorite baseball team lost their winning streak. I also was supposed to go to a game on Friday, which people have been liking my baseball videos a little bit. So I try to do that for my very particular followers who enjoy that stuff. But I was supposed to go on Friday and it rained so hard and my dad wasn't feeling well. So we were like, you know what, let's just skip it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll skip it. And I was
kind of sad.
I was a little sad. But it picked up very quickly. So I'm much better now. But and then I think my hero is my job has been going really well. I started a new job. I'm not working retail anymore.
Yes.
Done. I'm so happy. My new job is picking up. I'm thriving in it. I don't usually disclose where I work, but just know I'm doing great. My job is going really well. So I'm happy with it.
As it should.
Yes. Good job. Sky.
I don't have a 0 actually. It's been a
What?
really good week.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's been going really, really well. I'm in a really good place mentally,
Good.
which is rare for me. So yeah,
Let's
overall
keep
it's
it
been
that way though.
yeah. Overall it's been really, really good. My hero, honestly, just the podcast. Like I'm just having so much fun with it. It just means a lot to me to come on here and just hang out. So
Yeah.
a lot more coming. So I'm very excited.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's only been 48 hours since we did our last Zero to Hero, between Sky and I. So my 0 was that I was legit like flat up in bed all day yesterday because again, like everything with my allergies and what I'm assuming is a cold. See,
Knock on
hit
wood.
me.
I'm knocking on wood for you.
God, me too. Kind of hit me all at one time, and I legit did nothing but like sleep yesterday. And be woken up by people trying to FaceTime me or people trying to call me every couple of hours and things like that, which was kind of irritating. He is not responsible for any of that, actually.
This time?
Yeah, this time he is not responsible for any of that. He barely
Wow.
he barely spoke more than 10 words to me yesterday because he was at the mall and then he was playing with his Legos. So he did not speak more than 10 words to me at all yesterday. Even though he knew I was sick, it's fine.
I tried to give you time to rest.
Lies.
You're welcome.
Just like,
and guess
now
what? You feel beautiful
That's-
and amazing and so well relieved. Okay, so I did you a favor. You're welcome. You can thank me. It's fine.
Number 1, that's not true. He just forgot to text me yesterday because he was busy. Don't feed into his lies. Number 2, let's go on the record.
I never forget, okay? And
Lies.
I don't have an ego. I don't know what you're talking about.
You forget to text me good night when I text you good night multiple times during the week.
Wow.
Okay.
Number 2.
Put myself back on mute real quick.
Number 2.
Awkward because somebody did text me good night last night.
Oh, interesting.
Get wrecked.
Number 2, I would like to go on the record that he also publicly just called me beautiful and amazing, which I've been trying to get him to call me for weeks on the podcast. So, bam, thank you for that. And number 3, if anything else, you caused this lovely little pimple that's now popping up on my chin. So there's that. But as far as my hero, honestly, again, just like of the last 48 hours, really just getting to do this. Like the 3 of us were FaceTiming to finish up our draft before we got on here. And then Sky got off to go make the Zoom. And Armida and I just kept talking. And then 45 minutes.
For a long time.
Legit 45 minutes later, he's like, "Are you guys done?" We're like,
my Lego set.
We're like, "Oh, no. Sorry. We got to talking. Friendship is important." Yeah. So honestly, this has been a good, hero moment too. It's just like getting to, get closer with Armida and getting to talk to her, more and things like that and getting to bring her on the show. So
like I said earlier in the beginning, this is so long overdue. Like I think I've been meaning to come on the show for like how many months now? You asked me to come on here. I was like 4 months ago.
May?
Like May.
It was probably even way before I joined.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
You brought it up with me once and I was like, sure. And it
just never happened.
Never happened. Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming. I honestly love being able to talk to you. And it was a very special moment for me and obviously her. So thank you for taking the time. Before we close it, where can they find you? Obviously TikTok and Instagram.
Yes. TikTok at Queen Latina _ fun fact, somebody has my Instagram handle. So my Instagram is different than my TikTok, which is not convenient, and apparently it's a dead account, so I can't harass them to get it changed. So my Instagram is usually linked to my TikTok, but I will say it for reference purposes. It is at Queen Latina with 3 I's in Latina. So Queen Latina. So that's pretty much that. It's like the same vibe. If you search up like my name, Armida, you'll find me very easily. So yeah, that's that. I don't have many. I just have Instagram and TikTok, really. That's where you can find my chaos. For those two.
Sweet.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, Madeline, you want to send us out?
Oh, sure. No pressure now that I like, it's fine. Thank you guys as always for listening to the Dream a Fantastic Dream podcast. If you could, please go leave us a like and a review on Apple Podcasts. We are quickly approaching the 1-year anniversary, and we would love to have a few more reviews on there. Before the 1-year anniversary, it gives us a lot of opportunity, to look at your feedback as well and create content that you guys want to hear. Which is a lot of fun. If you like some of the guests that we've been bringing on and you guys want to hear more, let us know. Just really anything, but any feedback really, really helps. So if you could just go leave us a like and a review. And as always, dream a fantastic dream.